Let's make this quick. I got an art defense video to keep putting off and other scripts to not finish. Welcome to not an episode of Absolutely Anima because we are only talking about modules today, and they are for a sniper subclass I'm very fond of. Loopshooters. Now, under normal circumstances, I would do videos on these operators where their modules would get their own segment in those videos, but considering there is not a world where I'm giving Caper a solo video and I kind of want to talk about Narantuya now, I am making up this bullshit video format now just for that, and it will not return for at least a month. That said, I do love loop shooters. Like, please note the M6 Caper and the M9 Narantuya, and please ignore the M0 Brigid because I'm currently doing something more important in my training room right now. Also, quick disclaimer before we start, I will not be giving this as in-depth as a review as you would expect from other Arknights YouTubers. I'm just here to give you a feel of the modules and my take on them as a super fan of this subclass, so let's just get started. As I have said a few times on the topic of 4-stars on this channel, 4-stars are just their class's identity boiled down to an easy to understand state. The Loopshooter identity is relentlessly high damage output at close range, and KP excels at that with an S1 that's just a crit, an S2 that just doubles the damage output, and a talent that is just a crit chance that boosts her attack, so her module is not going to be that impactful. Since all three loop shooters this patch got the same branch of Module X, I'm just going to cover it now, and it's very simple as you can expect from a module trait modification. Basically, they will do an extra 10% damage to enemies within their surrounding 8 tiles. Basically, if at the ideal loop shooter range of point fucking blank, that's an extra 3 damage, which is obviously good for the game, as they have, well, playstyles that incentivize that so easy to achieve condition for 3 damage. For Caper, her mod 3 is just adding an extra 5% to the crit talent, making it 30% instead of 25%, which may not seem like a huge increase, but considering how fast she will be attacking at her optimal range of, once again, surrounding 8 tiles, that 5 is going to be quite huge. Yes, it doesn't touch how much damage she's doing per crit, but the point of the entire kit has always been quantity over quality, which is just the loop shooter identity. So this is an easily a mod free recommendation just on that merit alone. You may have seen it, but just in case, I'm putting it on the screen again because, as you can see, Brigid is my least used loop shooter for a very good reason. While this channel's first real success post-Tacticians and You was that Brigid video where I defended her, I did not use her a lot because Brigid's value is being a welfare alternative to a very solid 6-star, and considering I have said 6-star at M9, I had no reason to really use her outside of IS, and unfortunately that will continue because this module is rough on her. First, I think the trait upgrade here is more rough on her compared because due to her how her S2 and S1 works. Like, Brigid focuses on long range combat rather than close range combat, which this module incentivizes. Yes, she can very much benefit from this a lot if the enemy gets into range for it with her S2, but most of the time she's going to be clearing enemies at the long range, so As for her mod 2 and mod 3, it's getting there, I think. I mean, look, the main appeal of this trait upgrade is triple fold. It reduces that hit amount needed to gain the bonus, increases her dodge chance, and now it also adds an attack boost to the bonus. But I think it's all just ultimately meaningless. Like, first, her skills already make it easy to hit the threshold, so reducing it by 4 at mod 3 isn't that impactful. Second, the attack boost is very minor, with it being 10% at mod 3, which is kind of and finally, it's only a 10% dodge chance upgrade, which is a joke, just like dodge chance. Honestly, this module is only worth it if you're in the position of being a Brigid frequent user on the basis you don't have Narantuya yet. Like, Narantuya is just always better than Brigid, and Naran's module is just a better investment in terms of Brigid's module. Brigid has always been a welfare pick for non-Narantuya havers, and this module continues that trend by being a welfare alternative to Naran's module. She's still a good doggo, but I would struggle to even recommend mod 1 if you have the horse. Now, for the real meat of the video, although it's more of a slice, as I would rather give Narantuya her own full-on video at some point, so I'm going to keep it brief. Yes, this module is worth the mod 3, but I think a theoretical mod Y will overtake this module when it releases, and here's my copium. You see, Narantuya has two good talents, one that focuses on stat ceiling and one that focuses on dodge and hit rate, and the mod X focuses on the former and does it really well. Not only does it erase the cap on attack and defense steal, it makes it faster by doubling the steal if they're at the optimal range of 8 tiles, which means with the trait upgrade, she becomes a stat-stealing DPS menace, especially with S3 in play. The reason why I think a mod Y may overtake this module is because I think whatever they will cook for the mod Y trait upgrade is going to overshadow mod X's DPS value, because Noan already has obscene DPS, and that mod will have to buff her dodge / hit rate talent, which I think is more important to her. Both her talents focus on survivability, with her second talent going all in with it, giving it, well, her dodge chance and the reduced hit rates at enemies within 8 tiles. So if a mod Y upped those numbers alone, I think this gives her more survivability that she will need when dealing with close range threats. Yes, it's ultimately still down to chance, but the combination of dodge and hit rate reduction already gives her a solid chance of attacks missing, so if upping those numbers means she can be even more safer, I think it's worth it. Anyway, that's my 2 cents about it. Her mod X is already 100% worth it now, but depending on how her mod Y pans out, she will either be a mod 6 candidate, as both modules will excel in different situations for her, or mod Y will just replace mod X as the default module for her, just like how we saw mod Y replace mod X for Crown Slayer. Either way, Horse Girl fans across the globe is winning. Anyway, that's it for this whack video. I'm ending it now so I can go back to being mentally ready for White Fox's release tonight. Bye.